Welcome all. I have a question for you. Does tense cause tension in your life, in your studies? And if your answer is yes, here comes this video to your rescue. So here I have few things, few items, and this will make things easier, simpler for you. So let's begin. So as you can see, we've got first one is MV, B, have, 3, 2, 1. And if you want to know what is it all about, for this you need to go to the previous video, and there you will get to find these things. Those who followed the previous video, they must have a clear idea of what these things are. So here, the source of this is this one. Okay, in all the verbs, whenever you deal with verb or things related to verb, always you need to ask this question. Keep this in your mind. Do B have modals MV? And this will sort out all your problems, remove all the problems related to verb. So here, this form, this item here comes from this one only. And if you remember it nicely there, I pointed these two things while discussing the second situation in which more than one verbs are used. So these two things were marked. Here I'm going to do the same, and at the same time these two things are going to be removed from the board from here. And in place of these two, I'm going to use something else. So here I'm going to use MV as you find it here, MV, which is main verb. And the last one to be used here is 3 plus 2 plus 1. Why is this arrangement of numbers? Because here it follows a particular pattern. That is, it goes in the reverse order when we talk about perfect continuous. So it follows this pattern: 3, 2, and 1. So here we are talking about tense, and in particular present tense. Let's check it now. How it all comes. How to write them in sentences. How they originate. Okay, so first item is MV. MV is main verb, and as you know, MV comes in single verb situation. So I'm going to take a sentence here. Okay, I take. As a situation, I take dinner. I take dinner at 9. Okay, so this is the situation, and such sentences are called indefinite, where you make use of single verb, that is MV, without any changes. Single verb MV. Okay, so why is it called indefinite? So the answer is, see here, I take dinner at 9. What it tells that it's a time, it's a routine word, and you always take this at 9. So it suggests repetition of word. Repetition means you have been repeating the same action for a number of times. That is, you have been doing it since long, and since your childhood, since your early days. So this condition remains the same and suggests that there is repetition of this activity. So indefinite, in case of indefinite, it's a repetition of activity. Which activity? Taking dinner. At a particular time you take dinner, and this action gets repeated time and again. So always remember, repetition of word, that is indefinite, and repetition may come in any form. In any form means if it is a repetition of activities, okay, repetition of any activity, or repetition coming in the form of facts. Facts coming in the form of facts, repetition of activities, facts, truths, sayings, truths, whatever comes, but that suggests a repetition of the same action. So when we say sun rises in the east, it's a repetition. The same activity has been repeated and keeps getting repeated and has been getting repeated since the beginning of this universe, say. So repetition is involved here. When we say honesty is the best policy, that is, this is being repeated, this is getting repeated time and again. That is, the same sentence, same thing has been said 100 years, 200, 500 years back, 1000 years back, and same getting repeated today as well in the same form. Okay, and if we say mother gives birth, man is mortal. So birth and death, these two gets repeated again and again, time and again. So all these show repetition, and repetition means, NV means indefinite. That is that becomes a part of indefinite. So this is our first case. Now coming to second case. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take down the sentence in the same form. I take dinner. I take dinner. Okay, I take dinner. The same information without time. Okay, the purpose is the changes that take place. Remember, the changes that take place after the first always takes place between the subject and the verb. That is, between the worker and the work. Worker is the subject and the work is the verb. So it always, the be verb or auxiliaries are always used between the work and the worker. Remember this. So in case of be verb, we're going to use this auxiliary between work and worker. So for I, we always use am. I am. Okay, so as told previously in the previous video, in case of be and have, there comes change. We use some changes. Some changes take place with the second verb. Second verb is take, or with the main verb. So here too we are going to make some certain changes here. In case of be verb, the changes that take place is ing, in the form of ing. So we write I am taking dinner. You may use now here. I am taking dinner now. So let's know more about this sentence, discuss more about this sentence. So this has become continuous. So what we mean by continuous? What do we mean by continuous? So by continuous we mean, remember a thing, for a work, when we do a work, that always takes time. It's time consuming, any work, whether you study, whether you take food, or whether you play, it's time consuming, takes some time. Time is involved there. Okay, so here in case of be verb, so time is involved means, say we take this time bar. Okay, here we take this time bar. For dinner, say we take 20 minutes, say for example. Okay, so In this case, in case of continuous, our focus remains on knowing the activity, name of the activity. Our focus remains on knowing the name of activity and not when the action started or where you stand or where is your current status, where you stand currently. That's not our focus. Our focus solely remains on what activity is getting done right now. So right now, we're talking about an action that is getting done, that is taking dinner. And we're not concerned when it started, if you are here at the initial point, middle point, or end point. We're not concerned about these things. We're concerned about what activity is taking place right now. Say, for example, your friend makes a call and want to know what you do now. What are you doing now? So he says, excuse me, what's up? And your reply comes, taking lunch, taking dinner. So he's not concerned about the activity that you started some time back, but he just simply focused on knowing what activity is being performed by you. So here, remember, in case of continuous, our focus remains on activity, knowing what activity is being performed. Okay, now moving to third, have. That is perfect. So here too, we write it the same way. Sentence remains the same. I take dinner. Plain sentence, that is MV sentence we take down here without time. Here, again, this is worker, this is work. Sorry, this is work, this is worker. And change, that is the first verb, always comes between the work and the worker. So we'll take down here have. Have verb. For I we use have. I have. As previously told, second and third, the middle two always come with certain changes. So in case of be verb, changes ing. In case of have verb, change comes in the form of ed, dt, en, and e. So here the change is in the form of en. So sentence comes in this way: I have taken dinner. Now, what is the point of focus here? We must know what are perfect sentences. What are perfect? So, perfect, in case of perfect, our focus remains on knowing whether the action has been completed or not. So let's see. Let's check it through this bar. Say it takes 20 minutes. Okay, it takes 20 minutes. Okay, now here our focus is not to know whether when it got started, when the action got started, where is your current location right now in this bar, but our focus simply remains on knowing whether the action got over or not. It's over or not. You finished it or not. It's over. This is a bar. So action is over or not. So here focus is whether the action is over or not. So at this point we're talking about the action and whether it's over or not. So here it is, say for example, 9:15. Time is now 9:15 or say 9:30. Here at this point, your father, your friend wants to know, because he has certain idea that your dinner is taken by 9. Okay, so at 9:15 your father wants to know. At 9:30 your father wants to know. Your mother wants to know whether your dinner is taken or not. So he makes a call, or she makes a call. Have you taken your dinner? And you say, yes, it's taken. Yes, I've taken it. Right? So here the point of focus remains whether the action is over or not. And we talk of this action right after this. That is, That is, it cannot be, the time gap cannot be something like, say, 4 hours, 1 day, 4 hours, 10 hours, 1 day, 2 days. No, in that case, it becomes past. That is the difference between perfect and past. So in case of perfect, we're talking about the thing, but our focus is to know whether the action is over or not, and we want to know about it right after this activity. So 9, it should be asked at 9:50, 9:30, say 10, but cannot be asked at 12, at they say the next day, cannot be asked. So this is perfect. Now coming to the last one, perfect continuous. So let me take down the sentence first, the main sentence. I, okay, then take dinner without time. So I, now first we are going to write this, then this, then this. First comes verb. So we are writing here only the verb. Say we are writing this one only. The first verb. We're writing the first verb only here. The first verb only. From here first, from here first, from here first. So in the reverse order we are going to go. So this verb, this verb, this verb. Okay, so we are going to write the first from third. First verb is have, for I we use have. Second verb is be. Okay, here it is am given, but we are going to use the main verb, that is base verb of be. Why? Because when you have already used auxiliary, one auxiliary when already been used, you cannot use the second auxiliary in their forms. That is, the form of this auxiliary cannot be used, but the base form of the auxiliary has to be used. In case of second auxiliary is used in the second. This is first auxiliary, this is second auxiliary. So second auxiliary must be in the base form, not the form of it to be used here. Right? Okay, so now, so we have maintained 3, 2, 1. This is 3, say from this order 3, this is 2, and this is verb number 1. Okay, now the changes have to be used in the same way. Okay, okay, so if we take it in the reverse order, so this is third, we went this way, 3, 2, 1, then we again come reverse order. Again, the same order is followed, that is back order. So last is take, then is be. So with be comes, change comes in the form of ing, so we write here ing. ing. After that, after be, have. So in case of have, change comes in the form of ed, dt, en, ne. So here comes en, right? En. So this is the form, but at the same time we must use the time. Some time must be used here. I have been taking dinner late. Late. I've been taking dinner late, or I've been taking dinner at 9. The same sentence can be used here. At 9. At 9 since long, or for long. Okay, so this is your sentence. Now let's analyze this sentence, how it comes. So the logic here is, first is repetition, second is activity, third is completion. Our concern is completion. Completion of work. Okay, whether the action is completed or not. Here is activity. Our concern is activity here. Activity. Here our our focus remains on both time and activity. Say for example, this is work, obviously this is work. So it has a beginning, it has end point and beginning point, initial point and terminal point. So here our focus remains on when it got started, the time it got started, and what action you're doing you can say, because here in this case the action never gets completed. We're not concerned of its action getting completed or not, but we're concerned about time and activity, what activity you're performing, because we know it's not over. So time and activity, our concern, because time, since long means early days. You have started it at the early days, say when you were 3, 4, and since then you have been following this this routine, and till this time, till your age, current age, you have been doing the same, repeating the same, and it has not come to an end, and we are not concerned about the end of it. We're not talking about its end, but it's going on. So time and what activity? This is time when it started, or what activity? Taking dinner. So here also comes repetition. You can also analyze it in some other way, like repetition of the work with time, with plus time. That is, first form may come here. The difference is, here is repetition, here too comes repetition, but this is without time. That is, we are not concerned how long you have been doing this, but we're just concerned here about the repetition, that it gets repeated every day. And here we have mentioned the time as well, repetition plus time, that we have been doing it for say since long, 9 years, 10 years, 50 years, 30 years. So this is tense and present tense. Hope this will be useful to you and remove all the doubts from your mind. Thank you.